Hi guys, welcome to the video. I'm Professor Forex. Today we're going to be doing a breakdown on Bitcoin. If you go to tradingview.com, top left corner, if you want to search for Bitcoin, so that's BTCUSD, you can load the chart up. So I always start from a weekly time frame. You see I've marked the previous weeks. So what I'll do is I'll carry on from my last video, so it gives you an update of where we were and also where we're looking to go in the next foreseeable future. So remember, you always want to mark your weekly support and resistance levels. So what do I mean by that? You can see, you can easily identify your support and resistance levels, where price is rejected or where price used it as support. For example, price was in an uptrend here. You can see there was a level that price could potentially retrace to, or it couldn't reach further, so we can class this as a resistance. Price then declined, it made a higher low on a weekly time frame, so you could class this as a support. Then it went back up to the resistance. It actually broke the resistance and went up to another resistance here. So why do we call this resistance? Because price is resistant to move back further. So you can see it broke this level, it went up, hit the resistance level, came down, made a higher low, and then went back up and hit the resistance again. You can class this as that it made a double top formation. So when it makes a double top, as in it touches a resistance twice, it suggests that price can go down from this level here, and that's exactly what has happened. So always remember, start on the weekly time frame. You want to trap the price further. So let me just load up Bitcoin again. So here I've got a support level on a weekly. This was a price used as support and went back up. As you can see, then it was making higher lows, high high, high low, higher high, high low, higher high, and now price currently at a high low on a weekly time frame. So as you can see, price came to this weekly resistance. Where do we think it's going next? Well, when you identify your weekly support and resistance levels, price can only travel from resistance to support. So you know when price breached this level here, if price goes up, which it did, you know if it goes up it can continue to go up, or if it goes back down and retraces, you know it's going to retrace to this level here, because that is your previous support level. So remember, price always moves between support and resistance, clearly identifiable with your changes of direction. So this is where price makes higher high and higher low. This is where price changes direction. So here price change direction, that's a resistance. Here price change direction, it's a resistance again. Here price change direction, it was going down and went up, so here's support. So that's how you can identify your support and resistance levels. Also in terms of your higher highs and higher lows, you know if price is in an uptrend, it's going to make higher highs and higher lows. And if price is in a downtrend, it's going to make lower lows and lower highs. So what is a lower low and a lower high? It's exactly this. So it's where price changes direction, where the candlestick changes. So that also helps you in terms of your candlestick analysis. So now that we've identified clearly our Bitcoin weekly support and resistance levels, we want to trap the price further on a smaller time frame, which is a daily. So this is good for your intraday trading time frame. If you're sitting on your desk on a daily, the first thing that you do is look at the daily time frame. It'll tell you what's happening for the day, whether it's going to be going up or whether it's going down, and what is your bias throughout. So as I mentioned previously, you can easily identify that we are in a downtrend at the moment. Price is at a weekly resistance, it's now going to the weekly support. That's fine, no problem at all. What you want to do is you want to mark your most recent lower low and your most recent lower high. So you can see this was a previous low high that we used, which is why I've got this daily zone here. And this is a most recent lower low, which is your support region. So the support region is fine, it's still up to date. However, you can see price has made another lower high, which is this region here, where price rejected. You can see it made the wicks and changed direction. And also most recently, a couple of days ago, you can see this large wick where it tested that resistance as well and continued to go back down. So what I'll do is I'll update this level. So this is your daily resistance. and here is your daily support in red. So you know when price comes to this level, you could look for buy trades to go up. If price is in this level here or close to the region, you can take a sell trade and you expect it to go down here. So that is how you're trapping the price on a daily time frame. Remember, we do this because if you're trading a weekly time frame, look how many weeks it takes to travel. Each candlestick is 1 week on a weekly. You can see that. So if you took a buy trade here, you would have been in the buy trade for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. So yes, that's good if you're trading long term. However, I'm an intraday trader. I like to scalp. I'm in and out of the market. So on a daily time frame, you can do that. So you could take a buy trade here, hold it for a couple of days, and then sell it here, hold it for a couple of days, and obviously we'll break it price down further to a H1 to show you what I do on a daily basis as well. So now we've got your daily support, this red region here, and our daily resistance. We know price here can go down here, and it's doing that. You can see the most recent daily candlestick, which is today, there's bearish momentum showing that sellers are into the market, and we can expect price to come to this region here. Once price comes to this region here, we can load our sniper and look for a buy trade and aim to go this region here. Obviously looking at candlestick analysis as well, which we'll touch upon. So now I've identified the bias. Go onto the H4 time frame. This is where we trap the price further in between, even further in between the daily levels. So we're just repeating the process once again. Identify the trend, identify your support and resistance levels. How do we do that? We do that by looking at what price is forming, whether it's forming high highs and high lows, or lower lows and lower highs. Price is still in a downtrend. That's fine. You can see here there was a large wick on a H4 time frame, which also coincides with the daily resistance. So you could have this as a H4 resistance. You can see here you got a H4 support. Here you got a H4 support. This is where price reached, and it changed direction. So you could see it got to this level once, twice, 3 times, massive wick here, 4 times, 5, 6 times, 7 times it has respected this level here. So you can clearly see there is a H4 support region. Only most recently now in this H4 candlestick, which is now live. Remember, crypto markets trade 24/7, they're not closed on a weekend. Only now it has breached it. It's not even breached it yet because the candle hasn't closed. We've still got another 2 hours. So it could close as a candle wick. So it could close like this, where you got a massive wick, which indicates sellers try to push the price down, buyers pushed it up. But again, there's weakness of the sellers, so buyers could actually go back up and into the market. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, I'll go ahead and mark my H4 support and resistance levels. So as I said, that's clearly is a H4 support, so I'm going to mark it as so. You can have your colors any color you like, your support and resistance levels. I like my daily in red, my H4 in yellow, and obviously my intraday one, which we'll touch upon next, H1 in blue. So that is your H4 resistance, and here is your H4 support. So where shall I do it from? I'll do it from here. There you go. So here, if price reaches here, we know we can take a sell trade. Price is going to go down to this support region. Now prices approach this resistance level here, this support. We can enter a buy trade if there's a good candlestick, a green candlestick, bullish momentum, and the TP would be to this resistance here. So that is how you go from a weekly time frame to a daily, now to a H4. Remember, you're trapping the price even further between 2 levels. So now that we've done that on a H4 time frame, you want to move further, narrow it down even further onto a H1 time frame. So when I'm on the charts, I'm sitting on my H1 candlestick charts and I'm looking for an entry on a H1. So now that I've done that on a H4, we'll go down to a H1 time frame. So this is where each candlestick represents 1 hour of price action. So clearly I've got the daily here, and now I've trapped it between the H4 resistance. Now I've got a H4 support. So I can expect price to move in between these 2 levels. Now on a H1, we want to do exactly the same and repeat the process. get your support and resistance levels. So here I can clearly see there's a resistance here. Why? Because price changed from bullish to bearish. It changed direction. So you could say there's a potential level here on H1. Price change direction. Also, you can see it's now moving downwards. That's price made a lower high here. Also made a lower high here. This is a most recent lower high. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this as my support resistance. And in terms of a support region, this could have been your support region on H1. This could have been your support as well. You can see massive wicks also respects a H4 support. And also you've got a H1 support region here and here and here. It depends how far you want to go back. Remember, with technical analysis, you're expecting price to behave as it did in its history. So let's go ahead and mark the charts with the H1. So I'll drag this here. Remember, you can have your levels any color you like. I like my H1 in blue. So before the market opened, you can see I've got these breakers here. This is today's price action. We'll look at previous day's price action. So this is the previous days. So here is your H1 resistance. And if I wanted to mark a H4 support, it would be like this. So I know for the following day, if price comes to this level or close to the level, which it did here, I could enter a sell trade. And I expect it to go down to this level here, which it did so. So if you wanted to enter a sell trade, you could have done it on this candlestick here, which was at 2 o'clock in the morning. Your stop loss could have been just above or just here, above the level, and your TP would have been here. It's not a great risk to reward. It's probably what, 1 to 2, but nevertheless it is a good trade. I mean, it is a winning trade. That's how trading support and resistance levels is so easy. You support and demand levels. It is quite straightforward to do so if you use it like that. So I know if you entered a trade on this candlestick here, this would have been TP1, this would have been TP2. So this is TP1 because that's your intraday trading level support. This is your TP2 because it's a H4 trading support. So I know if it breaches this level here, which it did, price can go further to this level even more, which is a H4. And as you can see, it's breached it again. So it would more likely go down to the daily resistance. So now, price can either continue to go down, which it is, or it could retrace, make a low high, then we can enter another sell trade again and to go down to here. Easy as that, guys. So if I zoom out, if I put my risk to reward ratio tool in again, I'm entering on this candlestick, TP is here. Look how many pips I'd still be in profit. It's still running. It could go all the way here. Target at 5,000 pips. Easy as that, guys. Realistically, I'd probably close a trade here when it got to the H4. I don't really like to hold trades for long and I don't like to be greedy. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed that process. It's my thinking, it's my breakdown, technical analysis breakdown of Bitcoin. Remember, I started on a weekly time frame. Get your support and resistance levels. Then I went to a daily time frame. Again, support and resistance levels, trapping the price once again. Go into a H4. Again, repeat the process. Support and resistance levels. That's all you need, 2 levels. And also, look, I've got an indicator here. One indicator, which is an RSI. You can always use that to help you with your analysis. But I always focus on the candlesticks. That's my primary analysis. If RSI is a secondary indicator that I'd like to use, let's see if it coincides with the analysis on a H1. So for example, I've trapped the price again between support and resistance levels. If I took a sell trade here, you can see RSI is at 55. So it doesn't really coincide with my analysis. However, there is occasions where price is at close to 70 and that's indicating price is overbought, so it's going to go down. And obviously if price is at 30, it means that it's oversold, price can go up. So currently price is oversold. It's breached the 30, indicates price can go up from here. So I do expect it to retrace to this level and then go back down, or it could retrace and then make a higher low and go back up. So we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. So that's my intraday trading. That's how I'll break down Bitcoin if I want to trade intraday. Let's have a look at the long-term outlook of Bitcoin. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos. I think the last time I did it I was somewhere here. The price was at all-time high 109,000. It made a double top at the time. It's gone down. It's now going to make a higher low at the support region. There is still a bit of downward price action that we could see before it goes back up. So I expect price to retrace this level, get as close to the 74,000 before it goes back up to this level here. All-time highs 109,000. I think I've mentioned in my previous videos where I see Bitcoin in the long term. There you go. I've still got it marked on the charts. Where's Bitcoin going for its long-term perspective? I'll show you right now. Go to the weekly. Let's see. I expect price to retrace, go up. It might form a range. If it forms a range, it'll break through, make a higher high, all-time high 120. It'll then fall back, retrace to the resistance now, which now acts as a support, and then it would go all the way to this level here, which is 166,000. So I expect the peak of the bull run, which is probably in the next 6 months, I expect one Bitcoin to be worth approximately 170,000. So that is still my long-term analysis of Bitcoin. And obviously if you want to, you can draw your channels. You can see here, if I draw one of these as so, price can respect it, make a high low here, also coincide with the trend line and go up to 166. So I expect Bitcoin by the end of the year to be approximately 170,000. And then obviously once the Bitcoin dominance has sorted itself out, a lot of money will move away from Bitcoin and it will move to altcoins. So you'll see a lot of institutions holding Bitcoin first. Once they've made their profit, they'll take it out, put it into altcoins, and then you'll see it as the so-called altcoin season will start. So I will tell you guys which altcoins I think will do well in this bull run. You should expect to see a 5 or 10 times on your money, but we will break that down in another video. I try and keep my videos less than 10 minutes so you actually watch it. This is close to 18 minutes. Please watch it. If you have any cryptocurrency or any forex that you want me to analyze, drop me a message, like, share and subscribe. I will try to be uploading a video every day from now on, even multiple times a day. I've got a lot of time in April now to do my analysis. I will be sitting on the charts. I'm still actively managing my portfolio with crypto, although there is a lot of fear, uncertainty and demand. Just because price has retraced from this level here to go down, a lot of retail traders don't know that this is just a higher low. Price is still going to go back up from this level. We are in the mid of the bull run. The bull run hasn't even hit its peak yet, so don't worry about that. You've still got time to accumulate your assets, and I will do a breakdown in terms of which altcoins I think will do well, but I'll leave that for another video. I hope you enjoyed this Bitcoin breakdown. Like, share and subscribe. Peace.